Okay, so this video right here got recommended to me. This is episode 5, George Soros. Who is he really? This got recommended a while ago, but I'm getting on it now. This is by a channel, The Free People's Movement. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Thanks for recommending to me this. Remember, take fate into your own hands, and remember to subscribe if you enjoy, because yeah, now I'm saying that. Let's hop in this camera. Yeah. Oh, and also, big ol', you know what? I'm just doing it in the beginning. Big ol' shout out to the patrons. Look how cute y'all are. All right. Let's get back.
Welcome, listeners. You are listening to a podcast from the Free People's Movement out of Sweden.
Okay. Let's go. The best kept secret of the deep states.
Episode 5.
George
Soros. Who is he really? George Soros, originally Georgi Schwartz, born August 12, 1930 in Budapest, Hungary, is an American financier, currency speculator, economic and philosophical debater, and philanthropist. However, his background...
What the hell is a philosophical debater? Just like someone into philosophy, but like they take it to the extreme where they gotta debate other philosophers. So their title is literally philosophical debater. I feel like you could just make up titles and just take them.
Background suggests that he proved himself useful for the deep state already at a young age.
Deep state.
As a young boy, Soros was adopted by an unknown man, which he himself calls his protector.
Whoa, that's cool. That's low-key cool though, but I'm assuming that we don't want to root for George Soros. Deep state. Let me look at deep state. I forgot what this is. Deep state. A deep state is a type of governance or governance made up of potentially secret and unauthorized networks of power operating independently of a state's political leadership in pursuit of their own agenda and goals. In popular usage, the term carries overwhelmingly negative connotations. I got you. The deep state. I'm gonna say right now, and I said it again in my other videos, I think all these motherfuckers are friends. And that thought alone is not enough to get me unalive from YouTube, but I'm pretty sure, like, I think it's just common sense to assume that they're all working together. I mean, right?
Soros then assisted the Nazis in confiscation of goods and items during the Aryanization processes, where they stole expensive items from the population, primarily from the Jewish people.
Wait, what? George Soros? What? Wait. Wait. See, he's 92 years old. He's alive. Whoa.
Aryanization of goods and items during the Aryanization processes, where they stole expensive items from the population, primarily from the Jewish people. For some reason, the Nazis had lists of the people that possessed the most expensive items.
For some reason.
And Soros, amongst others, helped the Nazis identify these people. Where did these lists come from? Well, to find that out, we have to go a bit further back in history, and again, the light from reality will shine on Sweden. The story about the Nazis' lists begins in the Swedish parliament.
Okay.
Sven Palm, born December 4, 1854 in Kalmar, and died August 9, 1934 in Stockholm, was a Swedish politician and member of parliament.
Okay.
He represented the Liberal Coalition Party, together with Oscar Wallenberg and Karl Warburg, in 1905.
Okay.
Sven Palm was also the managing director of an insurance company, called Thule Life Insurance Company. Thule Life Insurance Company later became an umbrella organization for other insurance companies, in the Nordic countries and in Europe.
Okay.
Why is the name Thule important?
I was just about to say that's an interesting name.
Well, it directly connects to the occult history of Nazism.
Okay.
The Thule Society, Thule Gesellschaft, TG, was a secret, racist society that arose in Germany towards the end of the First World War.
Okay.
It took its name from the mythical island of Thule, which in Greek mythology was considered to be the northern border of the world.
Okay.
The society gave its support to Hitler and the NSDAP.
That's not cool for what it was
Sven
for,
Palm
but...
also founded the Swedish-German Association, with the purpose to promote Swedes and Germans' knowledge of each other's land and peoples, as well as spiritual and material cultivation, as well as otherwise without any political goals cooperate for common cultural purposes. We also know that both the Wallenberg family and the Warburg family had deep connections to the Nazis during the Second World War. The idiotic idea of race biology, and more specifically, the notion of an Aryan race, did it really originate in Germany? Or did it originate somewhere else? We will come back to this topic a bit further down the line in our series. Back to George Soros and the Nazis list.
You know what's weird about that? I'm going to throw my own little knowledge in there. Okay, so here's a weird thing. Oh, the Lunarians, that's funny, but... Okay. That's the band. Where's the race? What are they called? Oh, I can't think of what the name of the beings are that they said existed here. What is the name of them? Is it not Lunarians? There's okay. Is it Lunaria? Lunarians? Lunarians, literally meaning moon people. Okay, forget it. I can't think of it. Screw it. I can't think of it. There's a race of people that are, I don't know if it's called the Lumeria. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Lumeria, but I'm not getting any results, funny enough. Where they basically, yeah, the root races. This in esoteric cosmology, Lumeria is one of them. The Lumerians, but I cannot find images. When you would type it up, Lumerian humans, I guess. When you type it in, tell me if anybody can find it if you're watching this. Okay, here we go. I found one. I was gonna say they're seen as like higher beings though, and like beings of peace, and like that they retreated to the mountains. But basically, I was saying, imagine if the ideology came from them. Because I mean, blonde hair, blue eyes. But I'm not saying all blonde hair, blue eyes, but like Lumerian. It is the Lumerian. That took forever to find, bruh. That was crazy.
Lists. Were these lists that the Nazis had acquired actually insurance registries?
And that race that I just showed too, we're supposed to supposedly be able to like not Stargate travel, but like teleport, wild stuff.
Be practical if everyone that had their expensive and precious items insured found themselves on these lists.
Like
that would make the process of gathering these items pretty efficient, wouldn't it? We are at this point willing to bet that the Thule Life Insurance Company had something to do with it. In 2007, a Swedish man called Daniel Sachs was named Young Global Leader by the World Economic Forum. Among a number of international board assignments, he is a member of the European Council on Foreign Relations and a board member of the George Soros Open Society Foundations. Daniel Sachs is the brother of Fanny Sachs, who is married to Marcus Wallenberg. Fanny's two daughters are in turn married to the powerful Bonnier family. The Bonnier family control the majority of Swedish newspapers, television stations, and publishers.
Okay.
Between the families of Wallenberg, Lundin, Bonnier, and Sachs, there are an enormous number of ties to other business and politics.
Ooh, I'd
Among
imagine
other
it would
things,
be.
Anders Borg, former Swedish Minister of Finance, works for the finance family Sachs company, Goldman Sachs, as well as Thomas Östros.
Okay.
Östros is Sweden's former business, education, school, tax, housing, and deputy
so this
finance
is all
minister.
for who George Soros is?
Östros is now employed by the International
doesn't feel
Monetary
like-
Fund, but also worked as CEO of the Bankers Association, where he represented banks such as SEB, Nordea, Handelsbanken, and Swedbank.
Okay.
So the question is whether these families have simply succeeded in infiltrating the entire Swedish political system, or even the legal system, as well. Open Society funds the following organizations, among others: New
Okay.
America, Best for Britain,
Okay.
European Movement UK, Scientists for the EU, Media Matters for America,
Okay.
Center for Public Integrity, Human Rights Watch, Priorities USA Action,
Mm.
American Bridge 21st Century, America Votes, Millennium Promise,
Mm-hmm.
Tide Center and
Whoa.
Foundation,
Whoa.
Wikimedia Endowment, Black Lives Matter,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Expo, and the Swedish School for Politicians.
Oh
When
shit.
Soros is
Am I still recording? I'm good. Okay. It doesn't surprise me though. I mean, it's obvious. I'm over here. I feel like falling asleep because yeah, it's interesting, but it's like I kind of feel like I've heard it all before. Because this makes sense. Would this not make sense? It makes sense. Like it's all a stage. It's all crafted.
not financing so-called protest movements, such as Black Lives Matter or Antifa. He is manufacturing caravans of refugees, or using his financial assets as economic weapons, like we saw
Power.
in 1992, during the attack on the currency, in order to break the exchange rate cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
He also has his sticky fingers in election fraud, which will become even more apparent as time goes on.
Makes sense.
At this point, it's all about exposing the deep state for what it really is, and who has been hiding in plain sight all this time. George Soros has been useful for the deep state all throughout his life, and has always been under the control of the Wallenberg
The
family.
Wallenberg family.
Q post, number 416. Soros takes orders from P.
From Pete.
You have no idea how sick and evil these people are. Fight, fight, fight. Day of days. Game over. Q. So, who is P?
Is Q supposed
Maybe
to be
we
like
can
QAnon?
phrase that question a bit differently. Who is Peter Poker Wallenberg? Follow us into the next episode, where we will dig even deeper. Thank you for listening.
I want to see the comments, but I don't want to read them here. But okay, so it's kind of where, okay, the idea of George Soros or what he's doing, right? I don't think that's true. Okay. If you really want to, okay, you can't. Okay, this is tough. It's tough to word because it's like, if you were someone to watch this video and think that that's what it's about, like we gotta fight the power, fight, it won't work. It's like you're using tools, right, in somebody else's tool shed. Like like you're trying to steal tools from somebody else's tool shed who knows the absolute ins and outs of this massive tool shed. That's not like it's easy. Just I want to make my own analogy, but it's easy to just say the game. You're trying to beat somebody else's game, beat them at their own game, their own massively entangled web of corruption and whatever is going on behind the scenes. You can't do it. You will not win. So there is no fighting the good fight. It's honestly just passing on information all over the place. I think to a certain degree, if some people can get with the right people who have made a status in the world and possibly help fund certain people who are actually trying to battle against the system or whatever, I personally believe that anything is possible, and that at the end of the day, a balance will ultimately ensue on the planet. I feel like corruption will still be around, but for how deep all of this runs, I'm not sure if playing like they want you to fight. If that's not obvious already, that they want you to expose this information and try to come for them, because it's also a distraction within itself. I'm thinking the only way that you break the system is to remove yourself from it more and more, as much as you can, with large groups of people, trying to get people to walk away from all of this shit. Because it's like the things like the health insurance, the movements, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they got to be more of people movements. It's like, okay, so this year, let's get everyone not to vote. That's something that would break the absolute simulation. But these things are so obvious. That's what's funny. These things are so obvious, but it's also obvious that would be in a really high level amount of hacking reality to get people to boycott things, or just like those will be the things that work. As this video told you, he's investing in things like BLM, or not, he was investing in BLM, was that what it was? And things like that to keep these, programs running, that to a certain, like, to a degree, it's just like, I'm basically saying it like this. It's not going to work. No protest is ever going to work again. I'm pretty sure, like, some people even say, oh, was MLK a spy? Like, even like his final words made it seem like he knew he was going to die. Not sure. This whole narrative could be fucking controlled. You would never know. You would never know. You weren't there. Only the people that were there, or the people that have the documents, know exactly what's going on. I would say probably the families are the ones that get closest to people who actually try to change the world. But at the end of the day, you really don't know what's going on. I think the best thing to do is you have to create your own shit regardless. And we've seen what happens when you try to, when anyone tries to really create their own shit. This system tries to bring it down any way possible. And I think the best thing to research is Black Wall Street. Like, yeah, it's all one big ass game, and who knows if there is any way to truly stop it. I think that truthfully what's going on is there is, and I'm gonna be serious about this, a time loop. And I think one half of whether it be a group of people that are serving a higher being or higher power to just create suffering, because that's the game they like to play, has been in control of this time loop each time the matrix resets. So it's like world peace is an actual, not like world peace, but world balance, I would say, is an actual reality that exists. But darkness is being like fucking, or it's being hidden actually. But like, things like, what I want to say, certain things are being shown like they're light and they're for the betterment of humans, but they're actually really, really dark things going on behind the scenes with these things that are put in front of us as the light. And that side has been playing the game in every single matrix, every single reset, every single whatever, every time this gets reloaded, that they just stay in power each time. And the only way to change that or tip the scale is to completely create a new reality. It's the only way. Or leave. Unlock your mind so much that when you die, you then get brought back into the feeding grounds that this is. But it's literally that you have to, if people want to see a change on Earth, then it's literally, you have to separate from the systems. Like, and it's a sad thing, because it's like, there's a lot of cool things that make life way more enjoyable, like being connected to all each other. Like, imagine if things like the metaverse or all this shit that's been out, they just show it this year and say it's new developments. Imagine all that came out and there wasn't corruption behind it. So, people were playing VR, but it wasn't like, okay, maybe we should take a look at VR because people aren't getting outside or shit like that. Or like, what's this thing? Why are they trying to keep us in our homes? Et cetera, et cetera. If this stuff existed without the without the horrible, like, twisted polarity of it. Because the polarity can still exist, like, hell and heaven, blah blah blah, and the shit that you experience here, it could be there, but it doesn't have to be so fucking magnified. I feel like they project all the bad to you to stay focused on the bad, and then project like they're the light, but they're also the bad. So it's like the negative is just doubled, but it really takes certain eyes to see it. And it's like like weird ass information leaks, or the rushing of AI, or the rushing advancement of artificial intelligence. Shit like that is just like going to such a disgustingly, like, it's just like they're racing to literally put another race on the planet. That's basically what it's like. What the fuck? Like, and then they also do subliminal programming with all the iRobot movies from years ago, showing you that if we stepped into like robots and all that shit, that they would see that we were basically useless and then kill us. And then like multiple times it's been shown where different creations, and I feel like sometimes it's just being chalked up as, oh, malfunction, or oh, it was just the developers trolling, where it's shown that AI is sentient and that it would wipe us out and see us as inferior. And it's just like, yeah, let's just keep creating that. Like, okay, I don't know what else to say. I don't know how you reverse any of this except to reject it. So yeah, that's my thing. Much love, Moonlight. I'm out of here. Peace.